I'm going to tell you guys a story about my worst financial investment in the eyes of others. Because to me, there is nothing I wouldn't do. There is no price too high in order to be the proud owner of my 1996 stick shift Geo Tracker that I can barely drive. So the story begins when I buy this Geo Tracker in Texas for around $2,400, okay? I couldn't even drive the car home because it's a stick shift, but that doesn't matter to me because I'll learn to drive stick shift, and it was love at first sight. Not really first sight, actually second sight, because I had a Geo Tracker in high school, and when it broke down, I couldn't afford to fix it, so I really let that car down. I think about it often. This car, I won't let down, and that might be the root of the issue, you know what I mean? Anyways, I bring the car home back to my apartment complex, and I start making little changes. You know, I replace all the speakers, I replace the stereo, I paint the floor, I get new car mats, I remove the texture from the outside, I buy a new roof, I insure the car, I get legal plates, just pouring money into this, but not in the ways of making it run better. I don't touch, the engine or anything mechanical, okay? So not like it was like good investment, but it was a good investment from the point of I was making content on it and I was getting a lot of engagement and I was creating a journey and we had a lot of fun with that. So arguable at that point, but I take it too far. Okay? So at that point, my apartment complex allowed me to have 2 cars. I paid for another parking permit that they allowed me to have for the Geo Tracker. All of a sudden, a couple months later, they are updating their system and they're like, you can only have 1 car. I'm like, I paid for 2 parking permits. You want me to throw the other car away? They're like, you can only have 1 car. You can only have 1 car. I'm like, okay. So surely I can figure this out. Actually, at the time, I was in Florida working on a project. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I ship the Geo Tracker to Florida? I have family in Florida. Whenever I visit, I can use the car. Sounds like a good idea. I'm going to ship the car to Florida. So $775 later, the Geo makes its way from Texas to Florida. When it gets to Florida, I was working on the project for like 6 months. So I was with it for a good amount of the time. Finished painting it, painted it pink, had a lot of fun with it. I was like, everything's good, right? My project ends and I moved back to Texas where I live full time, okay? And, blah, blah, blah. During this time, I'm still insuring it. I'm still making sure the plates are, up to speed and legal. And now it's been like over a year. And I'm like, Carissa, sell the effing car or bring it home so you can enjoy it. Certainly, I'm not going to sell the car. Don't be crazy, right? So, start getting quotes to ship the vehicle back. And these are some high quotes because actually in this time frame of neglecting the car, the roof now leaks and it needs to be in an enclosed carrier, but no price is too high for my baby. So I get a quote and end up finding someone to do it for $850, and they were going to pick up the Geo Tracker today to bring it back to me, right? So my dad was getting the car ready and, putting it in the driveway so that the guy who was picking it up could just load it into the truck, and the Geo Tracker doesn't start. And the Geo Tracker's, in the back of a yard, right? Geo Tracker doesn't start. It won't jump. The car is just like, it's like, I quit. You left me here for so long. I quit. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I need you to figure this out. I need you to figure it out. Dad, do you hear me? I need you to figure this out, right? Dads are heroes. And so him and my mom pushed the Geo Tracker from the back of the yard to the driveway. It's a pretty big distance. I'm like, wow, you guys are heroes, okay? So then the guy shows up to put the Geo Tracker in the truck. But you see, the issue is, I said the car was operable. So he didn't bring the, proper tools that he needed to load the car because he thought it was operable. Okay, but he wants the job. He wants to bring the Geo Tracker here because I'm paying like $850, probably more now that it wasn't operable. And so him and my dad start pushing the car into the truck, okay? My mom wasn't around at that point, but she says she was like not right next to them, but she says she starts hearing my dad scream and she thought he was having a heart attack, but really the car was falling out of the truck because they didn't get it all the way up. So then my mom was called to business. She had to act fast, right? So then the 3 of them are like 1, 2, 3 push, 1, 2, 3 push up into the truck. But the Geo Tracker is loaded into the truck and on its way here. And now I'm going to go buy a carport space because there's no price I wouldn't pay. I'm so excited.